I'm continuously learning new tools on the internet, simple web pages that are free that can really help out with your real estate investment research. What up, millionaires? We'll be talking about BestPlaces.net, a real estate website that gives general information, but a broad range of information on locations that you may be interested in investing in. We'll keep this simple and we'll jump right into the website. So I've already entered San Diego, California, and this is what pops up. So what we can do is scroll down a little bit and you'll see population, median income, median age, median home price, which is a lot of times this median home price is very useful. People want to know that for single family anyway. And that's about what everyone's been putting out, is around 650. I haven't heard anyone say anything quite different from that, and that's a lot. Don't get me wrong, that's what we're talking about with these 2 stars. And unemployment rate 3.2%, and down a little bit later you'll see how we can compare these numbers to other markets in the country. And then you can scroll down, it gives you pros, cons, a couple of listings that people have put on here. Over here on the left is what you want to pay attention to, especially. It avoids all the ads and everything, just gets down to the information. So you got reviews, rankings, commute time. You can read all this. It's going to give you, like I said, general information about that area. So especially if you are investing somewhere out of state or somewhere other than the town where you live, which is more and more common these days, and quite possibly a good idea if you want to get the most value for your money. That makes a site like this very useful if you don't have boots on the ground. Now, I would recommend at some point you're going to get boots on the ground before you invest your money, but to get you started, this is a good spot to look. Quick facts, highlights, economy, reviews. And again, reviews, don't discredit reviews just because someone's complaining. There's usually some credibility to their complaint. But let's click on economy. So this breaks it down a little bit further. The unemployment rate, and then you see here, like I said, it's going to compare it to the US average. So San Diego 3.2% is actually a little bit lower than the national average. Job market increase 1.4% over the last year. It predicts the future growth to be 34.9%, which is slightly higher than the national predicted increase. Talks about taxes, talks about income. So here's a good one. Median household income, which was on the cover page, but is also here again. And it's showing that $65,753 is actually a little bit higher than the national average. But we'll look at another city here in a minute, and you'll see that there are cities drastically bringing down that national average. And then here's income by population percent. So how much of the population is making under 15K, 15 to 20K, 20K to 30K, and so on. And then if you scroll down some more, it breaks these statistics down. You can even click on those to get some more information. Population by occupation, which occupations are big here. So the retail trade, 11.6%. This could be good if you're looking for or trying to avoid occupations. You know, you might be avoiding maybe military because you don't trust that the base is going to have a long lifespan. Or you might target places with high medical because you want to do short-term rentals to traveling nurses that are contracted out. So to continue with bestplaces.net, there's a map of it as well to give you an idea. So again, especially if you're not from the area, this is going to highlight geographically what we're talking about. So San Diego, actually, again, like we said, it isn't too bad. If you look at this scale here, it's on the lower end, the left side. But there are some areas very close to San Diego that are on the right side. So it is something else to think about, like what's surrounding your area. Maybe you're on the outskirts of San Diego, very close to some of these areas with much higher unemployment. Now let's go ahead and switch it up a second, and we will go back to search, and we will enter a city that I hear mentioned more and more often, Detroit, Michigan. Everyone is asking, when is Detroit going to rebound? Well, here's their overall stats. A quick upfront group of statistics here. Unemployment rate 8.9%. Now, we have already said what the national average is, so Detroit's much higher than that, more than double. Median home price, $53,400. If you remember, San Diego was $650,000. I probably don't need to explain to most of you there's a big difference between living in San Diego and living in Detroit. The median income, $26,000. And this is a good idea, because you could easily get somebody who is pitching to you some investments for multifamily in Detroit, and you might say, you know, I've heard Detroit is going to rebound sooner or later. Let me look into that. I've never been there. And you could come here and look at these numbers and say, man, I really don't know. So let's go and compare economy here, since we just looked at economy for San Diego. And again, same thing. Tax rates. The growth is predicted to be 29.3% over the next 10 years. Things aren't looking good for Detroit in the near future, according to bestplaces.net. And again, you scroll down and there's all these pieces of information. Manufacturing, 10.4%, which of course used to be the bread and butter for Detroit until industry moved out and the city began to suffer. And you have your map as well. So Detroit's here, and it is surrounded by cities and towns that are on the lower end, well, rather the higher end of the unemployment scale. So really high unemployment compared to national averages. So there you go, bestplaces.net. I hope I didn't milk that too long, but it's something worth perusing in your spare time and when you're working on building your toolbox for resources for your real estate investment. So please feel free, comment at the bottom if you've had experience with this site, whether it was accurate or inaccurate, or while you're looking, if you look up your own town and say, man, that's way off. Let everyone know. We need to get peer reviews so that we know whether or not this is in fact a good tool. I've seen it, I've looked at it, and like I said, I'm not using it for an exact science, exact numbers. I'm not using it to write my contracts. I'm just using it to get my foot in the door. Say, hey, do I even want to consider investing in this area? So it could be a quick look for you. Check it out. I hope you like it. That's all I got right now. Later.